Taylor Momsen was pushed into the entertainment industry when she was just 2 years old. By 7, she became Cindy Lou Who in the cult classic How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
All right, my next guest, only 7 years old. Please welcome Taylor Momsen.
Taylor spent her entire childhood jumping from one movie to the next. And just when she finally got a chance to be a normal kid, the industry pulled her right back in. This time as the iconic Jenny Humphrey on Gossip Girl.
You know you love me. XOXO. Gossip Girl.
Virtually overnight, her life would be flipped upside down as she was catapulted into stardom. Taylor wasn't just acting on Gossip Girl. Gossip Girl became her life. Paparazzi followed her all throughout New York City. Gossip blogs started targeting her, and the internet bullied her. The worst part is, Taylor never wanted this life. She didn't want to be a product. What she wanted was to be a rock star. So she would have to completely shatter the Little J image in order to follow her dreams.
Get me out of this. I can't do this anymore. This is killing me. Wouldn't let me out of the contract. The head of Warner Brothers said, "Fuck Taylor Momsen." No fucking way.
And what came next was years of backlash, controversy, and non-stop media harassment as Taylor tried to claw her way out of Hollywood's grasp. So grab a floaty and a snack because I'm diving deep into how Taylor Momsen escaped Gossip Girl and how she became one of the most scrutinized teenage girls of 2010 in the process.
You make me wanna die.
If you ever Googled your full name, city, and state, you'll be shocked at how many of those weird people finder sites publicly share your private information. That's all because of data brokers who collect and sell your personal data, making identity theft easier than ever. That is why I absolutely love our sponsor, Incogni. I take internet safety very seriously and have been personally using Incogni for almost 4 years. In that time, my information has been removed 608 times from 237 data brokers. How Incogni works is by scanning people search sites for your personal information. They then send removal requests on your behalf. Incogni also regularly rescans and sends more requests to prevent your info from being collected and sold. To do this on your own would be such a hassle. Incogni really does the hard part for you. Plus, they have a new feature under the Incogni Unlimited plan where you can send in unlimited custom removals yourself if you see your info on one of those creepy sites. Just submit the link and Incogni's privacy specialist will take care of it for you. So take your personal data back with Incogni. Use code DEEP at incogni.com/deep or click the link below to get 60% off an annual plan. Thank you again to Incogni. Now let's get back to the twisted world of Taylor Momsen. We've done many deep dives on the world of child stardom, where they all have a pretty similar journey into the entertainment industry. You know, their parents pushing them into it before they can even formulate a sentence. Taylor Momsen was no different. In 1995, her parents Michael and Colette Momsen signed her to Ford Models when she was just 2 years old. In the 90s, Ford wasn't just any agency. It was the agency if you wanted your kid to have a shot at the child star pipeline. Brooke Shields, Lindsay Lohan, Raven-Symoné, just to name a few, all got their start at Ford. Because Taylor was such an outgoing, chatty kid, pretty immediately the agency recommended that she get into acting. By the time she was 3 years old, she went on her first ever audition for a national commercial and ended up scoring the role as the cute shake and bake kid.
This is how you make shake and bake. I shooked and Mom cooked.
For the next couple of years, Taylor would continue doing small acting roles, appearing in an episode of Cosby and Early Edition. However, her big break came in 1998 when she started the very long audition process for Cindy Lou Who in How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
I'm Taylor Momsen and I play Cindy Lou Who in How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and I'm 7 years old.
She got her big break being cast in The Grinch.
We did a lot of auditions. We narrowed it down to about 3 girls, and I feel really privileged that I got chosen.
She was very good at what she did and just a real kind of unaffected kid, you know? It was great fun working with her.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Grinch.
Taylor has always said that she absolutely loved working on The Grinch. From the handmade set that brought the magical Whoville to life, to attending Who School alongside acrobats and Cirque du Soleil performers. For a 7-year-old, it was like stepping into a fantasy world, not just a movie set. Now, The Grinch would end up completely changing Taylor's life. Not just because it was a massive box office hit turned cult classic, or that she got to meet the Queen, but because it was the first time she ever set foot in a recording studio to sing the song, Where Are You Christmas? It was in that moment she realized her true passion wasn't acting at all. It was making music.
And she sings.
And she sings too. Yeah, she loves
Yeah, I love to sing. This is a song, it's called Rescue a Pet, and I wrote it, and my dad plays a tune to it. Rescue a pet today! Rescue a pet today!
Taylor's childhood would become increasingly chaotic and isolating. She was always in and out of school, being bullied for being the Grinch girl, and never staying anywhere long enough to make real friends. Her dad stayed behind in St. Louis while Taylor was constantly traveling and living out of state with her mom, jumping from set to set on projects like Spy Kids 2 and Hansel and Gretel. After a few years of this, her managers thought there was only one logical next step in her career: the Disney Channel machine. Taylor was actually in the top 3 girls being considered for the lead role of Chloe, later renamed Miley, in Hannah Montana.
You went for Hannah Montana for the role of that.
Yeah, I was like 8 or 9, I guess 8 years old, I think. It's great for Miley. I'm very happy that the show has done so well for her. I can honestly say I don't think that it would be the success it is if I was a part of it, because I would have just told everyone.
After Hannah Montana fell through, Taylor took a break from acting and would move to Maryland with her family. For the first time in her life, she got a taste of what a normal childhood was like. Going to school, making friends, and she even started a garage band. It was the happiest she had ever been. But unfortunately, she only got 1 school year of normalcy before her agent and manager approached her with a role for a new TV series that was in development called Gossip Girl. Since she was only 12 years old at the time, they thought she would be perfect for the role of Jenny Humphrey, the youngest character in the cast. At first, Taylor rejected it. She wanted to stay in Maryland with all her friends and her band, but the powers that be pressured her.
And that's when Gossip Girl came around. They go, you're gonna move to New York, you're gonna audition for this, and you would have to move to New York for it. No, I don't wanna do this anymore. I love where I'm at. And 12 at the time. And my agent, my manager, they all flew to my house to convince me to audition for this, going, this is gonna be a great opportunity, and you'll get to move to New York, and it's fashion-based. You love fashion, and you love New York, and blah, blah, blah. So, long story short, ended up going to New York to audition for it.
Where are your parents at this point?
Oh, they're there. They're encouraging this choice.
Gossip Girl had actually been in development since 2004, when Warner Brothers won a bidding battle for the book series. At first, they were going to turn it into a feature film focusing mainly on Blair Waldorf, who was going to be played by none other than Lindsay Lohan. By 2006, the movie deal had fallen apart, but Alloy Entertainment, the production company behind Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, thought it would make for an incredible TV series. So they brought in the creative force behind the OC, Josh Schwartz and Stephanie Savage, to develop the show for the CW. Fast forward to early 2007, when Taylor Momsen packed her bags and headed to New York City to film the pilot. At first, the set was pretty lonely for her. Her co-stars Queen Bee, Leighton Meester, Ed Westwick, Chase Crawford, Blake Lively, and Penn Badgley, they were all adults, and she was still just a kid. Looking back, it's actually pretty shocking that they cast someone so young to play Jenny. If you watch Gossip Girl, then you know the storylines can be pretty heavy. Like in the very first episode, Jenny gets assaulted by Chuck Bass, which just seems like a lot for a 13-year-old to film.
Who's the newbie?
Jenny Humphrey. She's a freshman.
I love freshmen. They're so...
fresh.
Good morning, Upper East Siders. Gossip Girl here. Your one and only source into the scandalous lives of Manhattan's elite. Between the A-list parties and the smoking hot scandals, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's a pretty fabulous life. You know you love me.
Gossip Girl premieres Wednesday, September 19th on the CW.
On September 19th, 2007, Gossip Girl debuted to 3.5 million viewers. For the CW, which was a much smaller network, these numbers were super impressive, even beating out One Tree Hill. Which, side note, I have an entire video on One Tree Hill on my personal channel, Shelby Search Bar. I'll link it down below in case you want to check it out. It's It's a wild one. Anyways, Gossip Girl came at such an interesting time in the world. We were shifting from tabloid print media to instant celebrity news online. It was 2007. Gossip blogs like Perez Hilton had exploded in popularity. Everyone wanted to see what Britney, Paris, and Lindsay were up to in real time. Gigi really tapped into the world's obsession with gossip blogs and socialites. We were also entering a financial crisis right as the show aired, so people flipped on their TVs to step into the elite world of the Upper East Side as a form of escapism. All of this combined completely blew the show up, catapulting the entire cast into superstardom. No one expected Gossip Girl to become this cultural phenomenon, especially not Taylor. She thought it was just another job and was totally unprepared for the overnight fame. All of a sudden, the cast's lives were mirroring the show. Paparazzi chased them all over New York City, while Perez Hilton sent out blast after blast. They were truly living the Gigi life on and off the set.
Suddenly you're being photographed as a character by paparazzi and put into the tabloids as Taylor. And I'm getting hate from things I did on the show that I have nothing to do with. And so I think, and I was young, I was 14, and that's something that I hadn't dealt with before. They were coming to my house. They were going to my sister's school. They were everywhere, and that feeling of kind of being watched and stalked is just, it's intimidating, is, I guess, it's unnerving.
In 2008, after Taylor turned 15, she would start becoming a regular headline on Perez Hilton, where he would begin commenting on her body, saying she looked frail and needed to eat. He also released a photo of her smoking at a party with Chase Crawford and Zoe Kravitz, which led to reports that she frequented the iconic Gossip Girl roof deck parties at Chase and Ed's apartment.
We just called it roof deck, and he would like invite a bunch of people. We'd bring a Bose speaker and some big bottle of vodka, whatever, and just have a party up there all the time. But they did turn out to be pretty fun, kind of well-known party.
Chase and Ed lived together at the time. The rooftop party.
Okay, so you frequented the rooftop.
Oh yeah, I would spend a lot of time at their apartment.
Now, what really set the internet on fire was a Page 6 article that dropped in December of 2008. They claimed one of their little spies spotted Chase Crawford and Taylor Momsen kissing outside of a work holiday party that they attended together. Almost instantly, rumors of a romance flooded the gossip blogs, and Chase got some major backlash considering he was 23 and Taylor was 15. Reps for both of them quickly denied the story, insisting that they were just good friends. Fans weren't buying it though, because at the same time, their characters Jenny and Nate were starting a fling on the show. Paparazzi photos of them kissing during a scene were already all over the internet, causing speculation that that's when their real-life romance started.
How old are you though? You're 15. How old are you?
15.
And how old is Chase? Your pen guy?
He's 23.
Yeah.
But it's not weird though, because we're all really close. So.
Wait, is he really a guesser?
What?
The partying rumors and alleged romance with Chase were just the beginning. Taylor didn't know it yet, but she was heading straight into a 3-year-long media firestorm, where she would be relentlessly targeted by the tabloids, becoming one of the most scrutinized teenage girls of this era. Behind the scenes, Taylor just wasn't happy. She never really wanted the Jenny role in the first place, but she was trapped in a 6-season contract. After season 1, Taylor decided she was done being a tool for other people and was ready to go after her real dream, making music. See, ever since she was a little girl, her dad would play her rock records. That's how she became obsessed with bands like the Beatles and Soundgarden. So during filming for season 2, she decided to start a rock band. That's when she met Kato, an incredible music producer who worked with Paramore, and his best friend Ben, a guitarist and songwriter. Together, they formed the band The Reckless, later changed to The Pretty Reckless because of trademark stuff.
The name of the band's called The Pretty Reckless, and so it took a while, because while I was working on the show, I would start working on the show at probably 4:30 in the morning and get picked up, work until about 7 or 8 on the show, and then go to the studio and record and write until 2, 3 in the morning, and then do it again. So I was sleeping 2-3 hours a night type thing.
When we first were asked to kind of get together and work on the record, work with Taylor, and we're like, oh come on, 16-year-old teen celebrity, come on. And then we went in and we heard the tracks, we're like, okay, it sounded all right. Then we heard her open her mouth and sing, we're like, okay, this is the real deal.
It didn't take long for them to get signed. By May of 2009, it was announced that The Pretty Reckless scored a record deal with Interscope. Jimmy Iovine praised Taylor, saying she had raw vocal talent and an incredible presence. Just 2 months later, the Pretty Reckless would embark on their first ever tour, opening up for the Veronicas.
How are you, Little J?
Don't call me that, I'm Taylor.
And Gossip Girl fans will like the record?
I think it's going to take some getting used to, for sure. I think it might be a little bit of shell shock because it's rock, man. If people are going to say what they're going to say, they're going to think I'm an actress turned singer because I can do it. And it's not what it is. I've been singing longer than I've been acting. I've been writing music for my entire life.
When the news broke that Taylor was in a rock band, the internet erupted, and not in a good way. She was called a wannabe singer, a poser. What happened to Cindy Lou Who? Who does she think she is? She'll never be a rock star. It's a hot topic phase. She's just another child star rebelling. Hating Taylor Momsen was becoming popular, and Perez Hilton really latched onto that and started to post about her non-stop. At one of her first shows for the Veronicas, he posted a photo of her where her underwear is showing, titling it, quote, "Oops, there's my crotch." He continued with, quote, "Hi there, kitty, and we're sure she's a virgin, right?" Mind you, she had just turned 16. Now, back behind the scenes, Taylor is wanting to go full-time with her band and is desperately trying to get out of her Gossip Girl contract. But the network executives are refusing.
It started with I don't want to do this anymore, but you're in a lock and key contract with CW, Warner Brothers, all of that stuff. It came down to, it was a very long battle of me arguing everyone and going, get me out of this. I can't do this anymore. This is killing me. Like I have something else I want to do with my life and it has nothing to do with this, and I can't be stuck here anymore. You're called ungrateful and you're called all the things that come along with how dare you turn your back on something that's been so successful for you. But it came down to they wouldn't let me out of the contract. The head of Warner Brothers said, "Fuck Taylor Momsen. No fucking way." Because she couldn't get out of her contract, she at least wanted to change Jenny's style. And this is when we see her character go from Little J to Dark Jenny. In an interview, creator Josh Schwartz said, quote, "Jenny's transformation wouldn't have happened had Taylor wanted to be Jenny. It was hard at a certain point to write for the old Jenny. We had to write for the new Taylor."
And it wasn't that I was changing the way I was dressing, it was just that I started dressing myself. So, so people were kind of going, she's a poser and she's very fake and it's all put on to try to be a certain way. And you're really seeing me. I'm kind of bearing my soul on stage and in the way I look and dress and present myself, and it's just the way I am. So I just get dressed like everyone else, but see, people seem to care that my stockings are ripped, and I used to get yelled at for it. They seem to think that I am Jenny Humphrey. that is the biggest thing, and it's like I'm a different person. It's a character I play. I am not synonymous with Jenny Humphrey, everyone. I'd like to make that statement.
The more Taylor was criticized for her style, the more she leaned into it to rebel. She said it was very much, "Oh, you think my black eyeshadow is too much? I'm gonna put on more." Even Anna Wintour was commenting, calling her raccoon eyes. Hollywood Life said her style was not that of a high-class hooker, more like low-class, and that's being generous. She was called trashy, a prostitute, and a slut on a daily basis. Her response? A Revolver magazine cover wearing lingerie. Now, what also went extremely viral around this time was Taylor's tampon string. During a performance for Warped Tour, a photographer shot up her dress and blasted the pictures out.
I'm on stage. I'm 16. I'm playing a show. I'm wearing a little dress. I have underwear on. But a photographer goes and shoots up my skirt, he kneels down, shoots up my dress, and my tampon string had slipped out. And so my tampon string was sticking out of my underwear. Perez Hilton puts that on the homepage of Perez Hilton. You can see like the side of my pussy and everything. I'm underage. The violation and his headline, I don't remember what it said, but the headline was very negative of like slut. Look how trashy Taylor is.
Within weeks of the tampon string story, Taylor was in the headlines again for being an out-of-control diva on the set of Gossip Girl. Tim Gunn from Project Runway made a guest appearance on GG where he had to do some scenes with Taylor. He told E! News, quote, "She was pathetic. She couldn't even remember her lines, and she didn't have that many. I thought to myself, why are we being held hostage by this brat?" He further stated that the director said, "It's like this every day with her. It was clear Taylor was done with the show. She was appearing less and less in episodes. Reports even started circulating that she had been suspended indefinitely. The CW made a statement saying that's not true, she's contracted until season 7. While the network was still refusing to let her out of the contract, the writers agreed to write her out of the show. Josh Schwartz basically said she was a kid when those contracts were signed and that they needed to respect her decision. Basically every interview Taylor did, she was asked about leaving Gossip Girl, but at first she had to stay silent about leaving the show permanently because the CW wanted to keep it open for her to maybe return.
Is little Jay ever gonna go back to Gossip Girl?
Well, the show's been very great. I mean, they've been very supportive of my music because I have this band, The Pretty Reckless. Yeah. And we just released our record yesterday. It debuted #2 on iTunes. Which
there you go. I like that.
#1 on the rock charts. I'm very excited.
Really? That's hot.
It's very unbelievable. We have the best fans.
On August 27, 2010, Light Me Up, the debut album by The Pretty Reckless, released to the world. Critics praised Taylor, saying her ability to mix soulful swagger with a heavy metal grit makes for one of the best debuts of the year. Just a few weeks later, TPR's music video for their single, Make Me Wanna Die, finally dropped after being held up in legals since in the original version, Taylor fully stripped down. Now that Taylor was officially free from Gossip Girl, she was able to embark on the 2-year-long Light Me Up tour. Even though she was moving on with her life and doing what she loved, that didn't stop article after article from continuing to come out.
Taylor Momsen has been shocking people with her outfits and behavior for months now. Now, photos were snapped of Momsen on stage with her band, The Pretty Reckless. She opted to go braless for the gig and decided on placing X's with black tape over her nipples.
Taylor, what do you think the significance was flashing the crowd yesterday? Do you think flashing a younger audience is appropriate? Do you think mothers would approve you flashing a younger audience?
The media really started to question, where are her parents? Well, Taylor stated that she graduated high school when she was 16, and in New York, she was legally an adult. Many publications assumed that meant that she had gotten emancipated. When asked about her parents directly, Taylor said they put her in the industry when she was 2. She didn't have a life. She woke up and realized she was a product. Now, Taylor also made sure to mention that her parents are super supportive now.
My parents are very supportive. They're very, very proud of me. Because they know who I am. That's the thing is, what I'm conveyed is a very different thing in press and tabloids like to make me look like something that I'm not.
The controversies didn't stop. Taylor would find herself in hot water for bashing pop stars. She was constantly being compared to Miley Cyrus since they were both in their rebellious era, and this would really upset Taylor. Quote, "There is no comparison between us. I'm a rock star and she's a pop star. It's ridiculous that Disney is as relevant as it is today, even with adults. Where's the real music?" Taylor then took a jab at Rihanna for her new rock look. Now Rihanna is wearing fucking leather jackets. It's really annoying. She also had a little tiff with reality star Heidi Montag, who was trying to break into the music industry. Taylor had written and recorded a demo called Blackout when she was 8-ish years old. That song was given to Heidi for her debut album Superficial. And when Taylor heard her song on the radio, she said, "Okay, dude, you're singing an 8-year-old's words, but that's cool."
I didn't really want to release the songs I wrote at 5, so
No.
I had to wait till I wrote a record.
Heidi Montag was fine with it, though.
Yeah, that was a weird one when I got that phone call.
Jeez, yeah. What?
Someone just sent me the song, and I was like, "Is this for real? I don't know. How did she even get this?" But
in recent years, Taylor has really reflected on the way she was treated in the media and how she herself came across in interviews. She admitted she was a little wild, but she doesn't think she was the ass they made her out to be. People thought the band was just a phase. She said the phase was heels and the outrageous outfits. Like everyone else, she grew and matured, but rock and roll was never a phase.
My image was a little out there, and I was now I call it pretentious. I look back on it and I go, oh, it's like cringy how pretentious some of the things I would say was and how I'd speak and carry myself. And I think that some of that pretension came across extra because I was being defensive, because I felt like I constantly had to defend who I was as a person every time someone asked me a question.
In 2012, Taylor did return as Not So Little J in the series finale of Gossip Girl, marking the last time she would ever set foot on a TV or movie set. Through the years, the Pretty Reckless would continue to release albums and tour nonstop with legendary bands like Guns N' Roses, AC/DC, Foo Fighters, and with Soundgarden, the band she idolized more than anything. The Pretty Reckless has gone on to make chart history as the first ever female-fronted band to have 8 #1 singles. The 8th single was her recent rock cover of Where Are You Christmas, which is such a full circle moment watching Taylor embrace her Grinch beginnings 25 years later as she re-records the very song that made her fall in love with making music.
And I am Cindy Lou Who.